The United States has 88.8 guns per 100 people, or about 270 million guns, which is the highest total and per capita number in the world, cited by Procon.org 2018. But yet, the United States has some of the most lacking and non-existent gun laws in any developed country. Most other developed countries have an average of 8 steps to purchase and own a gun, while the United States has about 3 steps. Every time you even so much as turn on the news, they're reporting a new shooting, a new person dying from bullets. Yet nothing seems to be getting done. We need gun control so we can decrease the number of deaths in this country, so we can prevent murder from turning into mass murder, and so deadly conflicts become less common. More gun control laws would reduce gun deaths. So far in 2018, there have been 14,387 incidents involving a gun. 3,695 of these incidents have resulted in a death, and 58 of these were mass shootings, cited by GunViolenceArchive.org 2018. Guns are the leading cause of death by homicide and by suicide. Firearms are the 12th leading cause of all deaths, surpassing things such as liver disease, hypertension, Parkinson's disease, drowning, fires, machinery accidents, etc. You get my point. American children under 15 are 9 times more likely to die of a gun accident than children in other advanced wealthy countries. About 200 Americans go to emergency rooms every day with gunshot wounds. Too many people have lost their lives and will continue to lose their lives to senseless violence unless we put in place more strict gun laws. Bendu Kalesan, the assistant professor of medicine at Boston University, conducted a study on gun laws and gun violence and came to the conclusion that passing federal laws that require universal background checks for firearm purchases, background checks on ammunition purchases, and firearm identification could reduce the rate of U.S. gun deaths by more than 90%, cited by CNN.com 2016. Quite frankly, we know that gun control works because we have proof in other countries. Countries with restrictive gun control laws have lower gun homicide and suicide rates. For example, both Switzerland and Finland required gun owners to acquire licenses and pass background checks that include mental and criminal records, among other restrictions and requirements. In all of 2009, Switzerland had 24 gun homicides. In 2007, Finland had 23. There's a noticeable difference in the numbers there, and I know I'm not the only one who sees that. Maybe if we follow suit with our other developed countries, we can maybe not be in the thousands when it comes to gun-related deaths every year. Since Americans pretty much have free reign when it comes to guns, they're able to have access to military-grade firearms or firearm accessories. The Second Amendment was written at a time when the most common arms were long rifles that had to be reloaded after every shot. Civilians today have access to folding, detaching, or telescoping sticks that make the guns more easily concealed and carried, silencers to muffle gunshot sounds, flash suppressors to fire in low-light conditions, even grenade launcher attachments. We also have access to high-capacity magazines, which enable shooters to turn a murder into a mass murder. High-capacity magazines were used in at least 50% of the mass shootings between 1982 and 2012. When high-capacity magazines were used in mass shootings, the death rate rose 63% and the injury rate rose 156%. A high-capacity magazine has the ability to turn a killer into a killing machine. 18th century laws should not be governing 21st century weapons. The United States has a gun epidemic on its hands. Mentally ill 18 and 19-year-olds are able to get their hands on weapons that cause mass destruction and can kill 30 people at a time, sometimes even more. Innocent bystanders, people with children themselves, are being shot down. Do you think they realize that that day would be their last day? Do you think they kissed their loved ones goodbye and told them they loved them? This needs to stop. The NRA, the politicians, need to get their stuff together and make something happen because so many lives are being lost over this. Too many deaths, too many tears, too many thoughts and prayers, and not enough action. It's time to stop being silent and demand the United States passes gun control laws. It's obvious enough that we need it.